Hey guys, this is Mike from Btech Reviews here, and today we're going to talk about what the Moto G7 lacks. Hey guys, another video here about the Moto G7. So I wanted to make this video because I wanted to kind of put it out there on what the Moto G7 lacks. So just to go over the phone again, all around this phone has a very good build quality, right? Again, this is the white variant. But again, just to kind of give you guys a little spec rundown of this specific phone really quick. Again, this phone again has a 6.2-inch touch display, which is 1080p by 2270 as far as the resolution goes. It has a 12 megapixel rear and an 8 megapixel front facing camera. Qualcomm Snapdragon 632 octa-core processor clocked at 1.8 gigahertz, and of course it does have 64 gigs of internal memory with this specific device, and with a 3000 milliamp battery. So again, I wanted to make this video because I kind of wanted to compare it to the Moto G6 and what it lacks from last year's device. And for the most part, if for the price point of this specific device, I don't really think that it's really worth the extra $50, or at least compared to the price from last year. So last year's Moto G6 was actually $249 brand new. This device comes out to $299 brand new unlocked. Okay, so that doesn't include the other variants. So again, this is just the regular Moto G7. It's not the Moto G7 Power or the Moto G7 Play. So last year, the Moto G6 did have a few different things that this specific phone didn't have. So just going from that, I want to talk about things that this phone lacks. Okay, I'm going to talk about 3 things this phone lacks. So one would be NFC. Okay, so for whatever reason, Motorola decided not to put NFC into this brand new Moto G7, which is really weird because the last couple of devices have had NFC, and there's I remember even the Moto G3 had NFC. So why is it that they're upping the price of this if there's no NFC? And if you guys don't know what NFC is, or what you can do with NFC, basically it's a feature that allows you to pay with your phone, basically, and you can also do other things like data transfer from one phone to the other, as well as pictures, etc., like that. So there's a few different things you can do with NFC, but for the most part, why Motorola decided not to put NFC in this device is beyond me. Why charge an extra $50 from last year's Moto G device if you're not going to have that feature? Second feature that this phone that I want to talk about that does not have, of course, is water resistance. Okay, so this phone is splash resistant, but for the most part, it does not have any IPX rating as far as waterproofing goes. So, and that might be due to the fact that this thing does actually have let's see if I can get this to focus here. Maybe not. There you go. It does have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack on the bottom, but for the most part, yes, this phone does have some sort of splash resistance. But you cannot take this to the pool. You cannot, unfortunately, accidentally drop it into a sink or even to a toilet, something like that. Not that anyone would want to take that into a toilet, basically, but it's just interesting. I find it interesting that they're lacking all these little features when the price point of this device continues to go up. So my question is, why is Motorola doing this? You know what I mean? And I will go over positives of this phone before I finish this video, of course. But the last thing that I want to go over on this device, of course, is why is it missing wireless charging? Okay, so for the most part, a lot of mid-range devices don't have wireless charging, right? But the fact that this phone has a glass back, and it is ceramic backing to my knowledge, and let me just go ahead and peel off this actual case so that you guys can see. But as far as the build quality goes, the build quality is great, guys. But for the most part, why invest in having such a nice build quality if you're not going to have something as simple as wireless charging built into this device, guys? So Motorola did a lot of good things right with this phone as far as their mid-range as their mid-range flagship goes, but for the most part, they also left out a lot of little things Again, these three things that I talked about, which were again NFC, water resistance, and then wireless charging. So again, why would Motorola decide to up the price of this device if they're gonna lack features that the last phone had? You know what I mean? Again, those features would include waterproofing, and again, what was that other item here? Waterproofing and NFC. You know, the Moto G6 had NFC, and for the most part, that device ran just a tad bit slower than this one, obviously. But even then, the Moto G6 had an octa-core processor also. So why is Motorola excluding these features? I don't know, guys. I mean, maybe you guys can enlighten me in the comment section below. But for the most part, going back, I can say a few good things about this device. First of all, the screen size did get bigger from the first device, or from the last device. So this is a 5.7, I'm sorry, this is a 6.2 inch touch display instead of a 5.7, which was on the Moto G6. So props to Motorola for doing that. And of course, they got rid of somewhat of what we like to call huge bezels in the phone world nowadays. So they got rid of the front the front Touch ID sensor right here, and they just kind of replaced it with the little Motorola badging right there that you guys can see there. And then of course they have the eardrop or whatever you want to call it, the raindrop camera, which it doesn't look bad to me, but at the same time I feel like a lot of other phones are going in that direction, and it just doesn't look 100% pretty in my opinion. But at the same time, build quality feels about the same. The Moto G6 had a glass back on here, or a ceramic back, whatever you want to call it. So there was really not too much of a big difference other than the fingerprint sensor over here on the back. Moto G6 also had dual camera, which this specific one does have. I do have to kind of say though that the camera quality on this one is a tad bit better than the Moto G6 from what I remember. And just a few little other features that this one had that maybe the other one didn't have, kind of like time-lapse mode, for instance. Battery life is about the same. It's a 3,000 milliamp battery. It's not great, obviously. I mean, it's going to get you probably throughout most of the day with moderate to heavy usage. But for the most part, obviously, if you want something with a better battery life, you're going to probably go for the Moto G7 Power, which if you get the Power or the Play, you're going to have that wider chin on top, which is a bigger bezel. So that might bother a few people. But again, mid-range devices, guys, are getting better and better and better, but for the most part, they're also getting more expensive. So if you guys can compare like the Moto G7 to the Google Pixel 3a, for instance, the Pixel 3a, the build quality of that is nowhere even close to the Moto G7, at least in my opinion. That one's more plasticky and whatnot. The only thing that the Pixel 3a has going for it is the actual camera and the sensors and the software. But if you're a fan of Motorola, for the most part, it's pretty much running pure vanilla Android on it with just a few add-ons as far as like its Moto mods, or not Moto mods, but its Moto features when it comes to functionality of the device, guys. So again, guys, this is just a video of me ranting on why Motorola is charging more if it's actually excluding features from its last Moto G phone, which is the Moto G6. And again, you can still get the Moto G phone for a fraction of the cost that this one costs now. So again, I'm actually going to post two links in the description below. So I'm going to post a link to this phone right here, which is the Moto G7, and then I'll go ahead and post a link of the Moto G6. If you guys are looking to save a little bit of more money there and basically get almost the same phone, why not check out the Moto G6? So again, guys, if you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you guys have not subscribed to my video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And as always, thank you all for watching. Please subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.